Our next objection concerns the theory of evolution and the account of 7-day creation in the Bible. I don't understand why this should be an objection to Christianity. There is no conflict. Some Christians take a literal view of the reading of Genesis, and others are quite happy to sit with that poetic account in Genesis and the 7 days of creation as an act of God written in poetic form. It's not a science textbook, it's not claiming to be a science textbook, so in that sense it's not at odds at all with evolution or the findings of genuine science. One of the problems that we find in these kind of objections is a failure to understand how Genesis is actually functioning. The opening of the Bible in Genesis chapter 1 and then retold again in Genesis chapter 2 is a story of origins written in poetic form. It has a wonderful poetry to it, a symmetry. It is using metaphor and figures of speech to talk about how God did these things. It is not a scientific account of origins, but a poetic one. The symmetry, the beauty of the structure in Hebrew, in ancient Hebrew, is absolutely wonderful. There's parallelism. It's poetry. I wouldn't go to the library and ask for, go to the science fiction section and expect to find out how to bake a cake. I would go to the cooking section or whatever it may be. It's a failure, I think, to understand. Maybe we would need to clarify the terms. What do you mean by evolution? Or what do you mean by literally reading Genesis chapter 1? I would say that it's a failure to understand the genre of the Bible. We don't approach the Bible, or any good reading of Scripture approaches it in a multifaceted way, such as when we come to poetry, we read it as poetry. When we come to story, we read it as story, or history as history, or letters as letters. We understand the genre that we are in. And so, no, I don't think this is a reasonable objection to say no to Christianity. If anything, nothing has debunked or disproven this beautiful story that we have in Genesis. God made this world. That's what Genesis is saying, and you're very welcome to be here.